I'm doing it on YouTube. Excuse me. You ready? The Terrapins.
Welcome to Happy Valley, home of the Penn State Nittany Lions and one of the most passionate fan bases in all of college football. Little gets the blood boiling. Quite like a rivalry game. Barbs, shots, trash talk, things that go on throughout the week will now all be settled on this field. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the Maryland Terrapins, taking on the third-ranked team in the land, the Penn State
What'd you say?
Nittany Lions. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis. David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up.
I gotta make sure I'm...
The Terrapins will kick it away to start us off. Fielded in the end zone, it's Martin. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. Offense getting set for first down. To throw, it's Allard. Quick strike complete. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
It must be nice for this quarterback knowing he's got this type of athlete playing the tight end position. That can work the middle of the field for him. He's a guy who can stretch it vertically as well, but this is a guy the QB will look for early and often in this game.
On 2nd down, they'll take to the air. Fires the pass, intercepted. He was looking for running room, but they get him down at the 28, and now they are set up.
It's a defense that prides themselves on taking the football away. They believe they could impact this game with turnovers, and they get an interception on the opening drive. Wasn't a big return, but that doesn't matter. They stole a possession, and that is huge for their confidence.
Comes out throwing on 1st down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
That is just great total defense on that play. First off, you get pressure, you get to hit the quarterback. But 2, you got the intended target double covered. There is no way the offense was coming up with the completion.
Touchdown, Terrapins! Reeled it in and just made the house call.
And what did I nice start for this offense. The throw game getting working, getting the touchdown pass. This quarterback getting a little bit of confidence. This passing game getting in a rhythm. Nice start for this offense.
Let's see if they can roll snake eyes in a good way and get the deuce. He's looking to throw. And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did a good job on the sideline there, just talking to the young quarterback and making sure he's able to turn the page, calm him down, to go out and refocus this drive.
Yeah, and some people do that better than others, but you got to show some trust in him. Maybe get the ground game going, help around him a little bit with this system.
After the incompletion, they go back up top. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection. We anticipate this one being much tighter than the last time these two met when it was a blowout, David.
And here's the thing. You got an opportunity right now. You got the football early in this game to show you. This is going to be more of the same, Palmer.
Well, we talked to both coaching staffs and players, and they're all very aware of what happened the last time these two teams played. So expect everybody's A game today, Reese, you're right. We expect this one to be a lot tighter.
And money down is where you see defenses really understand where the sticks are, play great pass defense, know what's coming, and get off the field.
The Nittany Lions will send out the punt unit. Oh, they are all over him. That never had a chance, and the fake blows up in their face. Short fields make successful offenses just what they want here. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
Really good toughness by the QB to hang in there, take a big shot, but I will not give him credit for throwing into double coverage. So, nice job hanging in there, being tough, make a better decision. Do not throw into double coverage. He got lucky that was an interception.
Line getting set on second down. Back to throw, it's Edwards. Not quite in rhythm there, incomplete. I know you want to prepare for every game the same way, but there's just something different about rivalry games, Jesse.
It's because, Reese, I think players are aware that games like this define your legacy as a player. Your record in rivalry games is something that people are going to talk about for years and years down the road. You have got to show up and play your best football in games like this.
And the Terrapins line it up with a first and goal. A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
That's a phenomenal job getting after the quarterback and getting a hit on him to affect his accuracy, because if they didn't get the pressure, that was going to be a touchdown. He had a guy wide open in the end zone. That was a golden opportunity, but the defense comes up with it.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved, and I'm on defense, because it messes with the snap count. It messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
And it's caught! Touchdown, Maryland! I don't know exactly what the defensive coverage was, but it certainly wasn't part of the plan to leave him that wide open.
Well, I don't think they know what their defensive coverage was either. How do you leave that big guy open down here in the red zone? You know the quarterback loves the big tight ends in this area. Really poor job.
Throw to the end zone. It's picked off.
The two-point attempt is no good. That keeps the score. Maryland 12, Penn State 0.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Set to kick this one away.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Penn State State sends the offense back onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
It's hard throwing in the pocket, man. You got bodies and 300-pound dudes falling all over the place. They're trying to hit you. That time, the pressure got to them, and it forced the incompletion.
On 3rd and short, trying to impose their will and move the chains. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land. Man, oh man, the ball carrier was just shut down.
And I tell you what, they need some push up front too, right? They got to move those defensive linemen out of the way, at least create a hole so your running back has a chance. Not there. He didn't have any.
The Nittany Lions line up to punt it away. He may keep that punt, and they're going to try it again. It's another fake. He's not going to get there, and they'll turn it over on downs. The fake doesn't work.
And obviously you're trying to catch him off guard, but it didn't work. I'm not a fan of fake punts. I'd rather put my offense on the field and guys that do this for a living all the time and are really good at it, but tried to sneak attack, and it did not work.
Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that. Second down.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36. There's a reason they call it linebacker U, and class is in session getting that sack.
I mean, big-time playmakers at the linebacker spot all throughout their history that know how to get to quarterbacks and know how to make big-time plays.
Spits it out to the back. Grabbed over the middle. It's Ray. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Terrapins!
Man, find your weapons. Nice job by the quarterback. Find the running back out of the backfield. He catches it and does the rest. Walks into the end zone for the touchdown.
Ready to try the point after. And it's no good. He missed the extra point. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they get it into the end zone on a 36-yard touchdown pass. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Back to pass, it's Allard. He unleashes a long one. And he makes the grab and gets the foot down. What a job for a huge gain there.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field. And they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense moving forward.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Offense gets set for second down. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
And they'll miss the connection here on third down.
Well, the quarterback and his intended target just simply didn't have the timing there. The ball falls incomplete on third, now setting up fourth down.
Well, they haven't been able to get it done on fourth down so far today. They've missed on their first 2 attempts. Is the third time the charm? And it's going to be batted down. They'll turn it over on downs.
Man, that is just a great job on defense there on fourth down, making a play on the ball in the air. Everybody had their eyes on the quarterback, but having great timing, swatting the ball away and doing it cleanly. No PI, and as a result, that defense has earned a rest. They're coming off the field.
Maryland has the ball back and the Terrapin offense ready to go. Looking to throw, it's Edwards. Going for the big play. And it falls incomplete. But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there.
DB does an outstanding job here on the deep pass, locating the football, no PI, able to swat it away, pass incomplete.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Pass on the way, it's picked off! And he's brought down after the pick, but not before putting his offense in business.
It's so nice to see defenders squeeze that pigskin. A lot of times, in great position, you see them there to make the play, but there's a reason they play defense. Not this time. Great job securing the interception.
Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. There have been a couple of missed opportunities for these offenses in the last couple of drives, Jesse.
And I think for this offense here, it'd be nice to hit an explosive play, be aggressive, and really pay off your defense's effort that last drive.
And instead of having to move the ball down the field consistently and then getting stopped on fourth downs, you're right. Create some of those explosives. Take those deep shots. Make those big plays.
Caught over the middle. It's Singleton. Makes the catch, and he's brought down. They're not just using the running back as check down Charlie in the passing game. They're getting him downfield.
Right, and take my matchups I like. If you're going to play man-to-man, who are you going to put on the running back? You want to put a linebacker on him? I like my chances, even with safeties. Those guys, you know, listen, they aren't as great as corners in covering, so.
And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes. The Nittany Lions racing to the line in a hurry-up. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And they can't connect, a costly turnover on downs.
Aggressive. You want to be aggressive. You want to take chances, and you tell your team about it all week, and you come out, you get an opportunity in the first half to go for it on fourth down. You shot your shot. The problem is now you put your defense in a bad situation early in this game where you're going to have to try to find a way to get a stop and create some momentum.
Man, this quarterback is living dangerously right now. Obviously, he threw a pick on the last drive. He's trying to complete that throw, but the defender gets a hand on it, tips it up in the air. That's oh-no. That is an oh-no situation. They're lucky that one hit the ground.
And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. They've worked it down to the 30. This defense standing tall, trying to force a field goal try. To the air, it's Edwards. Got it set up on the outside. He's off to the races. They make the stop, but not before the screen has hit him for a first down and much more. Really good execution by this offense. The Terrapins come to the line with a new set of downs. He's going to pass. Going to try to pop one on the screen. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Defense just cradling that fumble and securing it. Afterburners coming. And a tremendous return on the play before he's brought down.
Those pitches, those laterals, whatever you want to call them, the more times you do those in a game, the more likelihood you have of putting that pigskin on the ground. They put it on the ground there. Ball gets out. It happens. It's going to be a part of the game, but it's also the part of the game that the coaches, when they get you to the sidelines, They're going to tell you about it, and they're not going to tell you about it in good language.
They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27.
I love that play call. And quarterbacks are always licking their chops after their defense gets a takeaway because they know now, hey, I got a sudden change situation. I've got a chance to take a shot and pad my stats.
Throws for the tight end. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play.
And as an offense, you want to stay aggressive. You want to keep calling these downfield shots. I know you didn't complete that one, but you want to send a clear message. You're trying to take the top off this defense. You keep calling downfield shots. You soften up the coverage. You get those safeties playing deep.
No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35.
When it's a play-action pass, that quarterback, he really has to sell the fake. He can't tell his offensive lineman's getting beat right away while he's selling the fake. He had no shot.
They're trying to get to him. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
You got to be impressed with this defense early in this game, guys. They've got a big lead because they are getting after the quarterback. They've already generated multiple sacks. They thought coming into this game they could take advantage of this offensive line, and that game plan is working to perfection.
This head coach will try again to get the 0 out of the 4th down column. He's 0 for 4 today. Looking to the big tight end. Connection to the right. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on 4th down?
And aggressive play calls. Everybody wants you to be aggressive. They're aggressive. They take their shot. Now they got to live with a little bit of the consequences. They turn the football over on downs. Now their defense has to go out on the field and make some stops.
Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. He'll start this drive firing. And it's incomplete. They were looking for the huge gain on 1st down.
That's an example of the offensive coordinator trying to be aggressive and trying to take a shot. Now, the offense isn't able to click on that play, but moving ahead in the second half, it's important they continue to dial up these big plays. You want to stay aggressive, and you want to keep testing the center.
Listen, I know DBs don't catch the ball real well, but to be a defensive back, it's one of the hardest positions in football. You got to stay with these big, fast, wide receivers and then try to go track the football and make a play. Great job making a play for his team.
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
Well, obviously, at this point in the first half, the defense is finding themselves in a hole. You just get the feeling if they're going to get back in this, they're going to need more plays like that. They're going to need sacks. They're going to need turnovers. They're going to have to create negative plays to get themselves some momentum.
Lets it fly. And the incomplete pass turns it over in their own end.
And I don't know how to explain that. 4th down and long, the percentages are low anyways, and on your side of the field, that is not the way I want to create momentum or start my first half. I'm not sure what they were thinking on offense.
He's got it. And he won't be able to push his way in. He stopped at the 1.
When you run your slant route and it's against man-to-man, one thing you know you're going to get is hit. When that wide receiver catches the football, slants don't open up wide open. Linebackers are going to be there, safeties are going to be there, so you got to be able to take that hit and hold on to that football.
Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
And that's just a huge missed opportunity on offense. QB missed his guy wide open in the end zone. You might not get another clean look like that in the...
And he sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! The offense did exactly what it needed to do, getting the ball in field position like that.
It's that killer mentality. You step on their throat, you keep your foot down. When you get opportunities like that, they are golden chances to put touchdowns on the board. The offense took care of business.
On to attempt the try. Oh, the kicker's on the run. And this one's not even going to come close. Man, they threw it in reverse.
Is no good. That keeps the score. Maryland 18. Penn State.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
Number 91. Set to kick it return.
Catches it inside his 20. Chance to really gain some ground. Nice return there, and he'll be dragged down at the 34.
Maryland offense will take over. 1st and 10.
Maryland has the ball back, and the Terrapin offense ready to go. The These last couple of drives, Jesse, have been about the defense making clutch stands.
I think for this offense, they can stay aggressive knowing that their defense is going to bail them out time and time again.
Yeah, and especially when you go for those fourth down situations, you do that a lot of times because you know your defense can make stands, make stops. They did on that last possession for you.
Feeling some heat. He's going to take off. At the 35, he's got room. Keeps it and gets past. And oh no, he loses the ball at the end of the run. Defense coming up with a huge recovery.
And he was under so much stress on that play. You saw him scrambling, trying to buy time, doing everything he can to keep the play alive, but the defense just kept coming in waves, and he got a little bit downfield before they finally knocked it out and jumped on that fumble.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied, and the timeout is gone. Caught in the backfield. It's Warren. Just broke the tackle and still on his feet. And here comes the offense on second down. He's looking to throw. Fires to the wideout. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be third down.
My job is to make sure that ball comes loose. And I got to go through that guy, use my shoulder pad, drive my feet, and really, really be physical. Because if he bobbles it at all, or as soon as his hand gets to the ball, you can tell the difference when that body jerks forward and that ball starts to come loose and contact.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You've got to be able to make that play.
The Nittany Lions decide to punt it away. Here's the punt, and he's done better. Not much on that one. He'll take this inside his 40. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. That fumble in plus territory just ruined that last drive, David.
Yeah, and those are frustrating when you got the offense moving a little bit and you put that thing on the deck, Jesse. But move on, reload, forget about it.
At the end of the day, it's just fundamental football, right? They practice it all week. 5 points of pressure. Every ball carrier has to have it. They just got to do a better job moving forward.
Pulled down after a pickup of 6, but he gets it inside the red zone. It's down at the 15. Oh, what a grab by the defense. Got room on the return. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision.
Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Finds a man on the right. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end. After the big play to start, now they are on the move at their own 45. To the air, it's Allard. Fires to the right. Into double coverage, and he picked it off. Bringing it back. Past the 10. And he will roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Maryland! The DB saw it. He thought, don't drop it, don't drop it. Then thought, don't get caught, don't get caught. And he didn't. The pick 6.
Hey, these guys can play offense, too, now. Look at this. I showed you I can be a wide receiver. Coach might split him out at wide receiver next week after making that big play. But defense, great job making the interception. And you're right, doing something with it. Don't just slide down. Don't be content. Take that thing all the way back, brother.
And perhaps a slightly more difficult attempt from the 8. It's a fake. Shuffle it to the tight end. Tripped up for the tackle. They're about to kick it away, and the defense probably can't wait to get back out there after the pick 6. He'll bring it back from inside the 15. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Looking for for a productive play on first down. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. And the Nittany Lions headed quickly to the line.
What a great job by this defense setting the tone early. In the first half, they've been hitting the quarterback early and often. Make him feel uncomfortable. Make him feel that pressure. Keep getting him on the ground. That's why they've built a lead.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. On target to the left. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop.
Ooh, and that's a nice sigh of relief for the defense too, right? There was a broken tackle at the guy.
But they're cornering the market on fakes. Here comes another one. This is probably one of those plays where you wish you had a do-over button so you could just punt that thing away.
Well, they thought they had the look they wanted for a fake punt there, but the defense was just way too alert. Give them credit for getting the stop, and now they set their offense up in great field position.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. That incompletion leads to 2nd down and 10. Dropping back, it's Edwards. Throws to the wideout. Complete in the middle. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, but they've got it 1st and goal.
Slants are very tough to cover, but they become way tougher when you got a big body wide receiver like that. It's almost like basketball where he's boxing you out. He gets inside real quick, uses that big body to shield you off, and even if you're playing man-to-man, you just got to get him on the ground and try to disrupt him some way.
And on 1st down, they've sent the field goal unit onto the field. Oh, it's a fake, headed for the end zone. Knocked off his feet.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Maryland 24, Penn State 6.
They'll try to open the quarter by cashing in on this big opportunity deep in the red zone. On 2nd down, wants to throw. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. 3rd and goal from way back there. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again.
Man, it looked bad for a little bit, but how about the defense coming through back-to-back sacks? Now it's 4th and goal. Decision time for the offense, but the defense made it really, really difficult getting those negative plays in back-to-back situations.
Thought he had it and couldn't get it through the uprights. He missed it. And after the miss, fellas, still sitting on an 18-point lead. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. And he got a hand in there, knocks it away, incomplete. After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Couldn't connect on 1st down, now back to the air. Got rid of it quickly, but it's incomplete. They come to the line, facing 3rd and long from the 25. Looking to throw, it's Allard. Unloads to the wideout. Oh, man, another incompletion. That's 3 in a row.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable 3rd and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters and I know the pass is coming so I can have more success.
3 straight incompletions, and undaunted, they'll go for it on 4th and 10. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. And it's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been on par. Not a lot of room on the return, but he'd already gotten the most important thing, the ball, and they have it at the 46.
Turnover margin always goes such a long way in deciding who wins the football game. Interception number 3, that is no bueno. Got to take care of the football. Can't keep putting your defense in a bad position, putting them on the field time and time again.
Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Yeah, And this defense hadn't had a lot of success. This offense has been doing what it wants at will. Finally getting to the QB, finally getting some pressure, finally getting a big hit on him. That'll pay some dividends down the road.
After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on second down. He's looking to throw. He finds his man. Offense on the move. A big play there. Gets it to the 30. It's great to send that blitz and get the heat on the quarterback, but you might need a little help on the backside with this guy.
Yeah, because now you're putting your guy in man-to-man situation against an elite receiver, and that's a tough battle to win. But you got to take those chances. You've got to be aggressive. The offense won that one. At least it wasn't a huge game-changing throw.
Got some room, entered to the goal line. Touchdown, Terrapins! And they take it in for 6 more points.
And this offense is clicking. Another touchdown. Didn't have to go far for this drive, but this offense is doing what they want, how they want, when they want.
And the extra point is good. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finish it up with the final 30 yards coming courtesy of that touchdown pass. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. And man, oh man, he is in the dark tonight. His 4th interception. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
You know, it's really tough to complete the ball over the middle of the field. You got so many players in the way with linebackers and safeties, and you could tell the defender did a really good job reading the quarterback's eyes, breaking on the football, creating the interception.
The offense set for a first down play. He wants to throw. Catch in the middle, it's Smith. They make the stop, but not before he sets them up with a 1st and goal from the 10.
Well, this offense told us coming in they were going to challenge this secondary early and often. They were going to use their speed to their advantage and take advantage of this quarterback's touch and arm talent. And already in the second quarter, they've got a...
Touchdown, Maryland! A great catch and run for 6.
Really nice job by the quarterback getting through his progression. He wanted to throw that football down the field, but nobody was open. He never forgot about his running back, running the swing route, spitting it out to the perimeter, and letting him do the rest for a touchdown.
And he knocked that one right down the middle. They want to get the ball right back here in the first half. They've got the lead going for the onside kick. And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it.
And you don't see a lot of these. You don't see a lot of onside kicks earlier in the game, especially in the second quarter. You still feel each other out. You're still getting into the game. You don't want to give away that momentum, but that's exactly what they did by failing on that onside kick.
He's looking to throw it. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down. Offense working from the pistol. To the air, it's Allard. He makes the catch. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down.
I don't know who on defense is going to cover this guy. Honestly, he could be a problem for this defense over the middle of the field in the passing game.
To the air on first down. Release to the back. That's reeled in. It's Singleton. Works his way to the 4-yard line, and they'll have it first and goal.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
Looking for the score. Throw into the end zone. It's picked off. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Well, that's the second pick in as many series now for this quarterback. But, David, I love the defense right now and the way they're reading and reacting to all these route concepts. I mean, they are all over these guys on the back end.
All over the field, making plays. Listen, you're supposed to see the quarterback break on the football. You've seen several breaks on the football. Your job is to know what the offense does really, really well. And you can tell this defense is dialed in, and they'll know exactly what this offense wants to accomplish.
Gonna let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter if they could have done it, but second down coming.
Smart offensive coordinators, they're going to throw defense, especially those 50-50 balls you hear about all the time. My wide receiver is better than your DB. Well, not on this play.
Pocket starts to collapse. This one's complete. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
It's really hard when you get in those predictable situations. Defenses are sitting on the sticks. Receivers have to understand where that...
And the ball's out and they're after it. Oh, and he gets it back, so you can file that one under. Could have been worse.
The ball security doesn't just apply to running backs and receivers. QB's got to keep two hands on the ball as well. They're very lucky after that fumble that the offense jumped on.
Back to throw, it's Edwards. Trying to get behind the defense. And the incomplete pass, taking a shot on second down, and they'll be left with a third down. This is a hard game and a hard position to play. But if you're the starter at this level, you cannot miss that throw.
No, you can't, and they don't miss that very often.
And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. And the Terrapins come to the line in the hurry up. On fourth down, going to the air. He's going to let it go. And it's knocked away, and they don't convert on fourth down.
Well, I knew the coach was confident in his offense. I did not know he was that confident this early in the game. Fourth and long. I thought he'd just punt that one away and let his defense take the field. Interesting.
Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away.
It's never easy on defense being in a sudden change situation like this. On the very first snap, they take a shot. You're backed up almost in your red zone. Great job.
And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Penn State!
And the running back gets his second rushing touchdown of the game. We want to continue to feed this guy. You can tell he's got a nose for the end zone, knows how to get in there, knows how to make things happen.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. Oh, they want the two, and the holder's going to try to throw it. Just missed his man, gave him just a little too much. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
38, Penn State, 12.
That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Maryland has the ball back, and the Terrapin offense ready to go. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the fourth down, and it led to the scoring drive, David.
Yeah, and those are frustrating because you think you might get points and then your defense gives up points. This has got to be a complementary football type deal. The offense now needs to provide a little spark and give this defense some hope.
No doubt, David. They got to turn the page, and they've got to play with a little bit more urgency here, knowing they've got to get that one back and put a good drive together.
And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, on offense, no doubt, right? You've had success. You're throwing some tutties. Why not keep throwing it? They're going to keep being aggressive. You're going to have to do a better job, though, keeping this quarterback standing up.
Looking for a man. It's Edwards. And he throws another interception, his third of the night. What a nice play on the pick. Didn't find much running room. They'll let it slide. They've got it at the 29.
The defense has been all over this quarterback all game long. It's almost as if they know where he's going to throw. That now, the third interception he's thrown.
They'll move the running back to try to force the defense to adjust. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. They've already racked up big sack numbers. It's starting to snowball, and they are ready to go again. On second down, he'll let it fly. Complete downfield. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into it.
And you see it all the time, right? You get that score, you get that energy, the crowd gets involved, and the defense got to get out and get you a stop. But this was step one to getting them back in the ballgame.
And now they'll try to get the two-point conversion, guys. Slams it ahead. He'll get in there as they draw 2 points closer. This offense prides itself on going after you, and they did with that long touchdown pass to finish off a 2-play drive. So they got the score. The lead is still 18 as they prepare to kick off. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down.
Maryland offense will take over 1st and 10.
Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. Mistakes are going to happen as they did on that last drive. Now how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to...
And he's running in the open. He's at the 40. He's at the 20. He is down at the 1. A terrific run after the throw and catch.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
That's a fly. Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Terrapins.
Have a day, young fella. I foresee some social media posts in his future. Not 1, not 2, but 3 receiving touchdowns on the day. What a ball game.
And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. Aggressive play calling on that drive. Just 2 plays, they get the long touchdown pass to pay it off. He'll bring it out. It's Singleton. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offenses to find themselves as the game goes on. They had some things not go their way early, but they found something last drive, David. Let's see if they can build on that.
Yeah, you just pick and pick and pick until you find that place where you're like, okay, this is an advantage I have. They clearly found that dude. They score here. We're in for a ball game.
How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion?
Yeah, that was a good play on the ball. Getting his hand up and getting the tip, getting the deflection. Ball bounces up in the air, falls to the ground. Incomplete pass.
That one comes out hot down the right side.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that, you can show your exotic looks, you can get the pass rush going, everybody in the back end expecting throw, and that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
The Nittany Lions will call on their... And they'll fake it again. And the ball squirts out, deep in their own end. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
All right, let's go return, guys. You've got to do a better job of ball security. You know these coverage unit teams, they got 50-yard runs at you. They're coming in with a big head of steam. If you're not making a miss, you've got to have 2 hands on the ball.
Into the end zone. And it's his 4th interception of the night. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
That QB might want to register as a 501c3. With the amount of donations he is making to the other team right now, interception number 4 now, putting his team in a bad position time and time again. We might want to start thinking about a change here.
Off-play action on 1st down. Throws to the tight end. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds and just on to the next down.
Finds a man in the middle. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st down.
And that's the beauty of running play action. Everybody sucks up, plays the run, and you get to slip that tight end down the field with a full head of steam, make a big play.
They're bringing heat. And the defense gets to the quarterback.
Man, I think this quarterback needs to take his offensive line out for dinners more often because they're not protecting him. And sometimes it doesn't even look like they're trying. That now the 6th sack of the game for this defense.
Makes his connection. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. Using him out of the slot, he has just been unstoppable.
And I love putting dynamic athletes in the slot that I can move around, that I can put in motion, that I can make him go in or out. I can put him off the ball so you can't get hands on him, and they've really featured this guy today.
Wow, that quarterback is lucky there. If you're going to take a chance like that on 3rd down in your end of the field, you better be right because that should have been picked and returned for a touchdown. This offense is lucky now they're getting a chance to punt this ball away.
Throws for the tight end. It's caught. Oh, what a big play for this offense as they get it to the 33-yard line.
That is a huge play early in this game. We came into this thing wondering just how aggressive this offense wanted to be, and there you go. First half, 4th and long. We're not bringing the punter out on the field. We've got a guy that we think can read the defense and deliver a strike, and we've got playmakers stretching the field vertically. They show you how dangerous they can be on that last 4th down there.
Misfired on 1st down, back to the air on 2nd. It's caught downfield. The tackle is made, but he's got it 1st and goal from the 6.
Hey, it's important on offense in the passing game. You've got to have balance, and I mean you got to be able to attack different thirds of the field. You got to work the perimeter to both sides. You got to let the defense know, too, that you're not afraid to go over the middle. They did right there.
That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1.
Well, look, this quarterback has struggled a little bit in this game with interceptions. Maybe he was being too greedy early on that time, made a real good decision. And I'll tell you what, that's a nice catch by the running back because that ball's in the air a long time. You're throwing it all the way out to the flat like that. He looked like a receiver making that catch and getting extra yards.
Powers forward. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Penn State. Follow the blocker. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
Play the analytics here, and you go for 2. To the air, it's Allard. He's back in the end zone for the 2-point conversion and followed the touchdown as he single-handedly is trying to keep them in it. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive.
Number 91, set to kick this one away.
Coming out with it, it's Smith. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16.
We'll take over 1st and 10.
Maryland has the ball back, and the Terrapin offense ready to go. And boy, they missed an opportunity last time throwing that pick in the red zone, David.
Yeah, and you got to put that frustration behind you. You can't turn over. That's a cardinal sin. You know better than that, Jesse. You can't take points off the board, but you got to move on.
You do. I think he just got way too overeager down in the red zone that last drive. So just come out here, trust your reads, trust what your coaches have told you to do, and just go out and execute.
That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. Now on 3rd and 10, if they can move the chains here, maybe they can get this drive started. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. On the move at the 30. He gets it past the 1st down marker, and a really nice job to set up that screen and move the sticks.
Perfect play call against the perfect defense. They came with a blitz, and the offense had the screen pass called at the right time. Running back gets it in his hands. He's got linemen out in front, getting hats on hats. You can't do it any better than that.
It's complete on the right side. Crosses the 30. He's got a lane. Touchdown, Maryland! Made the snag and strolled his way into the end zone.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it in style with a 57-yard toss for 6. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled, you realize what's going on. Now, I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable on its last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that, all right? You're a little bit upset based on what just happened the previous drive. You've got to bow up again and go back to what was working earlier in this game.
First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. Fresh set of downs after the completion. They'll throw it on first down. Hauls it in. They've got the defense reeling right now with that big play to the 29.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Man, that's a big missed opportunity for the running back. I'm trying to find ways to feature this guy and get him the football in space and not just hand it to him all the time. And tell you what, I'm a lot less likely to find those plays if he can't reel in those catches.
Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down. The Nittany Lions getting set on 1st and 10. From the red zone, looking for a space. Makes the catch, and he will score! Touchdown, Nittany Lions!
Man, nice job getting the passing game going. This is big, man. Going into the half, and listen, I know you're trailing, but building some momentum. Maybe this second half, we airing the football out, cutting into this deficit, and who knows what the heck will happen.
And they'll try to tack on 2. Pushes for the goal line. He gets into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and now it's a 2-possession game, down 15. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll bring it out. It's Smith. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. Jesse, a very productive drive last time, wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last one, Dave. We'll see what they can do here in this next drive.
Yeah, and I don't expect anything different. When you put together a drive like that, I would do more of the same. Keep the pace, keep it going.
And now on 2nd down for this offense. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Blasted as he lets it go. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down. They've got them pinned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. Sends it downfield. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass is coming, you worked on it all week, get your feet set at the sticks, understand that quarterback's got to be rushed, get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
3 straight misfires has left them staring at 4th and 10, but they'll try it again. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Snagged in the middle, it's Howard. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down.
Oh, and he finds his slot receiver on that fourth down throw. And I'll tell you, this guy is not the biggest receiver in college football, but he does such a good job working the middle of the field. He's just able to get open and read coverage. Every quarterback loves having a slot receiver like that.
It's first down from back at their own 24-yard line. Looking to throw, it's Edwards. And that is his 5th interception, a nightmare he is not waking up from. Was looking for a little more daylight for a big return, but he'll settle for the pick and setting his offense up at the 24. And now the offense will come onto the field again. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Got it! Oh, and he thought he had a chance to house him, but the defense tackles him at the 3.
And I love that play call. There's a great example of sudden change situation, right? Your defense gets the turnover. You get it right back. The very first play, let's be aggressive. Let's take a shot and see if we can catch the defense napping. Boy, oh boy, did that ever work out great.
From the gun. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
I love the coverage on defense. In the red zone, everyone's got their eyes on the quarterback, and they're flying to the football, and you saw that there on the incompletion.
Got nothing last time. Now 2nd and goal from the 3. Quarterback checking the play. He's going to the right, looking for a path to the end zone. And he'll be stopped for no gain, still sitting at the 3-yard line.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on 2nd down, this little 3rd to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. They'll decline that penalty. Obviously very happy with the results of the play. If this offense can't capitalize on this field position, they are going to be kicking themselves all the way to the sideline. It's 3rd and goal. And good hands there by the defense on that shot to the end zone.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
Just enough time for one final play of the half. Trying to slam in. He's not going to make it. Stopped short of the goal line. Tried to push his way in, but not quite enough on 4th and goal. As the defense comes out, they've got him pinned back, and listen to the roar of this crowd. They'll try to pop the draw. And he's able to get some positive yardage before he's brought down, and that'll bring us to halftime. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half as we head to the studio for halftime. The Nittany Lions will kick it away to start the second half. Fielded in the end zone. It's Smith. I imagine he's going to get an earful. zone and being knocked down at the 11. Maryland has the ball back and the Terrapin offense ready to go. They have the lead to start the third quarter, but I'd imagine ball security was a topic at halftime.
Yeah, and I think you take the lead and you try to stay optimistic with your team, but you also say, guys, if we had taken care of the football, this lead would be even bigger. We might have already knocked them out already, Palmer.
It's just about eliminating the mistakes at this point. You're right. This thing would be over if they hadn't shot themselves in the foot. So ball security, that is at a premium as this game goes on.
Looking for a man. It's Edwards. They've got the screen set up. Across the 25, he's got room. Open runway ahead. The 30. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Terrapins! And the punishment has been extended.
Number 24.
Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. That fourth down gamble didn't pay off on the last drive, and it led to giving up a scoring drive. And it's his fourth interception of the game.
The pass on first down. Intercepted.
You know, I think if I'm the quarterback, I'm probably not throwing at this linebacker anymore. That's now already his second pick in this game. He's been doing an outstanding job in coverage. I think if you're the QB, you got to start avoiding him.
First down for this offense. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
This QB has had a lot of success all day long, thrown for so many touchdowns, looking very comfortable. Finally, the defense gets to him. Finally, the defense gets a win. They needed something to go their way. Got to start getting some more hits on this guy.
Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's first and goal from the 8.
Well, I know this is an offensive line that has a ton of pride. They want to come out each and every game and really impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough push there on that run play to pick up the first.
Dropping back, it's Edwards. Fires to the end zone. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Well, that last incompletion is a good example of why your timing has to be so good as a quarterback, because the windows, they open and they close so quickly in this part.
Throw to the end zone, picked off. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
QB never saw the defender. He's staring his receiver down, telegraphing his throw, and the DB jumped all over that.
Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first. And here's the 5th interception by this quarterback. And he's going to take it all the way. Touchdown, Maryland!
And linebackers are so athletic nowadays in college football. They can play man on running backs and tight ends and all over the field. And how about the linebacker making the athletic interception and then showing you he could be a running back, taking it all the way back to the house for a touchdown.
They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick 6. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Use the play fake, now to throw. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And the defense at this point understands that the offense is going to have to try to throw the football, all right? They already got a lead, so they're now pinning their ears back and getting after this guy, trying to get him to the ground.
Unloads it left. Oh, so close to paying off. The tip really had it in his hands, but it falls incomplete. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. Looking downfield, it's Allard. Looking to the big tight end. And he throws yet another interception. Does he know which colored jerseys they're wearing? And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Not all DBs make the play at the end, right? They can bat the ball down, they can be in position, but they don't really secure the football. Great job by the DB securing the football and forcing the turnover.
Wants to throw on 1st down. A shot toward the end zone. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
Good awareness by the defense. In this situation on the field, you know there's coordinators that like to try to take shots deep down the field and catch you napping, but the defense was ready for that one.
2nd and 10 after the previous play. He's looking to throw. Caught behind the line. It's Ray. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
And a really nice job by the defense winning 2nd down. I think the quarterback thought he could dump this off, maybe get some positive yards, set up a good 3rd down. The defense did a great job responding and getting that running back in the field.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, they'll trot out the field goal kicker. Everything will have to be clean from 55 yards away. Oh, that one will leave a mark. No good. Well, they missed the field goal. That's about the only thing that hasn't gone their way in this one.
Well, that's now the 2nd missed field goal for this kicker. And I tell you this, you can't blame the weather for all this. This is a beautiful day. He needs to do better executing these field goals.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball. He's going for it all. And this is hauled in at the 20-yard line. That is exactly what you want to do with the football. He's got it all the way down to the 15-yard line. Huge play, puts them in the red zone, and now they'll snap it 1st and 10 from the 15. Using the quick game. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
It's so nice as a quarterback when you've got a guy like that working for you in the slot. He has such a good feel to find the open spaces in the defense. Just makes life so much easier for his quarterback.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. They think there's room to run to the right here. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
It's been that kind of day for this offense, right? It seems like anything they're dialing up just simply isn't working. But at this point, David, I don't know if it's even worth trying to run the ball.
Probably not. You're getting...
And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. Going the other way, and he's got room. He's at the 40. Running inside the 20. He's at the 10. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Terrapins! What a play by this defense with the pick 6.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to do. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, return to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
Well, the extra point has been anything but routine, but he knocks that one through. They're lining up to kick it off after the pick 6, and that defense will come out feeling it. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. That last pick 6 after a drive like that, David, can swing the momentum of a game.
The defense is still celebrating. I mean, such a big play. I mean, they gave up some yards but did what they're supposed to do. Now, Jesse, this offense has to put a drive together.
Yeah, they have to recapture some momentum here. What they can't do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back.
Now from the 36-yard line, it's 1st and 10. He slings it deep to the left. And he makes the catch inside the 20. Just making a huge play, and he sets him up all the way down at the 14. They've got this defense reeling after that last play. Now it's 1st and 10 inside the 15. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
The defense has been so dominant up front. You've seen it in these passing situations. That now the 7th sack of the game.
Got it in the middle. It's Singleton. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting him the football, letting him get some positive yards.
And the third down pass is incomplete.
Tell you what, I don't know if the offense was expecting man coverage that time. 3rd and long in field goal range, you're expecting it to be zone. Instead, they lock them up man-to-man, everybody on an island, everybody won. They get the incompletion, now setting up 4th.
They're throwing for it on 4th down. Touchdown, Penn State! That is the ultimate grab and go for the score. Like a Thanksgiving turkey, they're just being caught. No shot. They have no idea how to get in this quarterback's head.
He's on fire. Everything he's doing is working defensively. We got to figure something out. We got to try to do something a little bit different, bring more pressure. At this rate, he's on so much fire, you might as well just send everybody. Blitz everybody, live with the results, because everything else ain't working anyways.
Fires into traffic, picked off. The 50, the 40, past the 20. He just sets sail for the end zone after the pick and turns it into a 2-point return.
Great job on special teams, getting penetration, getting the block. You've got the convoy. It's a scoop score, 2 points the other way.
He'll bring it out. It's Smith. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. We talk about settling for points, but sometimes when you have to settle for nothing, David, it can be demoralizing. Just finds that little crevice, and he's still up. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play. And at this point, the defense looks as if they've been in one of those dizzy bat races. They've got no idea where the ball's coming from. He's over 500 yards passing.
Yeah, this is a Heisman Trophy level performance from this guy. The accuracy, the decision-making, the athleticism, everything has been on display.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And in my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He did in that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open field making the nice tackle.
Finds his man. It's Hemby. And the defense drags him down.
And that's why this running back's a big weapon here, right? Because not only can he run the ball, but he can catch it too. Even running flat routes when you know the ball's going to be in the air a long way, he can adjust to it and make something good happen after the catch. And quite honestly, they need him because they've thrown a couple of picks now in this game. They've got to find a way to get this guy more involved.
They've got it inside the 40 and the 39 as they pick up the first down.
Defenses throughout the week study every third down situation. You got to be ready for what they do, how they do it, and then be able to adjust. Great job by the offense so far having success.
He's got his man. And it's a fumble after that huge gain. How about that alert play from the defense to scoop it up? And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
Now, this is a receiving group that practices making catches in traffic, and they're used to having guys trying to rip it free. He's got to do a better job of keeping 5 points of pressure. After he makes the catch, that's a costly giveaway.
Looking to pass. It's Aller. Off the deflection, missed a great chance to force the turnover. Instead, it'll be second down.
Well, I know that one fell incomplete, but what a day this guy's had throwing the football. Multiple touchdowns, and he's done a really nice job with his decision-making. Hasn't thrown any picks, which has really helped keep this offense on schedule.
And back to the air on second down. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete.
He has just never been able to get into a rhythm in this game. He's already thrown 3 picks. He's been hit a lot. That time throwing off his back foot forces another incompletion.
Another incompletion on third down.
Third and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, fourth down.
On fourth down, they're taking to the air. Ball in the air, intercepted. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Tell you what, when you come out of your own end zone, you know, in the shadow of your own end zone, a lot of bad things can happen. You want to kind of get a few first downs, get some space, so if you punt after that point, you can pin them a little bit deep. This is the exact opposite of what happened.
And that ball is picked off. Got some room to run. He's at the 40, the 20, inside the 10, and it's going to be a pick six. Touchdown, Nittany Lions!
I love this free safety and how he plays center field, and oftentimes he's able to bait QBs into bad decisions. He did it right there. Made the quarterback think he was dropping one way, put his foot in the ground, got in front of that pass, and then showed you the wheels, returning it for a touchdown.
And that one is picked off in the end zone. They're about to kick it away, and the defense probably can't wait to get back out there after the pick six. Fielded in the end zone, it's Smith. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. Maryland has the ball back and the Terrapin offense ready to go. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive throwing a pick six, Jesse.
You're right, Reese. Well, I think this is really dependent, too, on the leaders in this huddle right now to step up and help this offense get back on pace here on this drive.
Yeah, and this defense is frothing at the mouth. They're excited. They're jacked up. They just made a big play. They got all the momentum, so they're ready to hunt.
They created a lot of breathing room with that first play of the drive. Now first down from the 39. Trying to get to him. Setting up the screen. Made a defender miss. At the 35, he's loose. Hit the gas, kid. Wide open ahead. No matter how many times they tell you to look for it, it is tough to defend a perfectly executed screen.
Yeah, because I'm trying to go get the quarterback, and everything looks like pass, but when you see it, when you see that screen, you got to retrace your steps, get back in the play. Nice job by the offense. The defense just has to recognize that a little bit sooner.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance. He'll try to dial up a better one this time on second and goal from the 5. Looking to throw it again. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
That's how you blow up the screen pass if you're on defense. You got to hit the quarterback fast and force the incompletion.
They're going to throw it on third and goal.
Well, third and short, I think the offense was probably expecting blitz. That's why they dialed up the screen, but it did not fool the defense. Great job defending the screen, setting up fourth.
Fourth and goal from the 5, and the offense is staying out there. A gutsy move by this ball club. Back to pass, it's Edwards. Looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Maryland! And the stomping has commenced. This dude is just slicing and dicing this defense into little tiny pieces.
Carving him up, completely comfortable, knows exactly what he's getting, had so much success today. You got to find a way to make these quarterbacks feel more uncomfortable.
The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. They get him stopped, and he was close to taking that one a long ways down at the 38.
First and 10.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. Off the play fake on first down to throw. finds his big tight end. And that is good versatility there and a big hit from the backer in pass coverage. That last completion sets him up on second down. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Now the play fake. And the quarterback is snowed under.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up in pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front seven on defense, it's going to be tough.
And that pass intercepted. Trying to take it back. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
And if that don't light your fire, your wood is wet. The best play on a field is when the big boy, the most athletic people on the field, the defensive linemen, make game-changing, awesome, super athletic interceptions.
Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Win with the running game on first down, now back at it. Looking downfield, it's Edwards. He looks that one in nicely. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down.
And that's a really good example of why offensive coordinators script plays. You know the down and distance, and you know which routes can get you to the stick. So there's no wasted time. That coordinator got the play in early to his quarterback, knowing that his players were going to be able to execute.
The short hands, it's Hemby. Touchdown, Terrapins! And the route is on. When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
And they tacked on the extra point. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown.
48.
From inside his own 15, looking for a crevice. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. This thing has sort of gotten away the last couple of possessions. They've been a little too generous, David.
Yeah, like a non-profit, man, like a charity.
Got a lot of running room. At the 30. He's at the 10. They'll finally put the brakes on him at the 3. A big throw, catch and run on that one.
What a great play call offensively. Taking the shot, you flip the field, and now you better get those red zone play calls ready and dialed up.
The Nittany Lions will try to put one on the board on 1st and goal. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Here's what I think. Offense is about finesse. It's about shifts and motions. When you get to be in the goal line area and the field starts to shrink, you better be able to punch somebody in the mouth and get positive yards. Not trickeration, not flip it to a guy with speed out wide, not do something different. You better be physical at the point of attack, move guys out of the way, and run the football.
How about this defense digging in its heels after the big play? It's now 3rd and goal. Makes the grab. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State.
Love the thought process by the quarterback here on this play. Nobody open in the end zone. Find your check down. Find the running back. He does that, and once this guy's got the ball in his hands, he shows you that elusiveness and his ability to sniff out the end zone.
How about this? A 2-point conversion coming. Wants to throw. It's Howard. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Maryland, 87. Penn State, 54.
And he takes this from inside the 5. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down.
Maryland offense will take over 1st and 10.
Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. They're going to throw it to start the drive. And the pass hits, picked off. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And that's just excellent coverage. Man, cover one, nowhere to throw the football. Look at everybody playing man across the board, and you still got the safety in the middle of the field. Nobody open, and if I'm the QB man, I don't need to force it. I don't force it in the tight windows if it's not there. He throws it, unfortunately.
To the end zone, and it's picked off.
And that's why as quarterbacks, you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching it. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
Let's see what this offense has dialed up this time. Quarterback moving. Fires on the move. Got him downfield. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play.
Running toward the tape. Touchdown, Maryland! And the beatdown has ensued.
Well, the quarterback does a great job with his decision-making. He found the matchup he wanted one-on-one. His tight end's able to stretch the field. He makes the catch, and he does the rest of the work himself, running it into the end zone.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. This offense prides itself on going after you, and they did with that long touchdown pass to finish off a two-play drive. From inside his own 15, let's see how far he can get. Probably needed to pick up an extra block or two, but as it is, he'll be stopped at the 28. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. That last possession, a prime example, Jesse, of how things get condensed in the red zone.
Hard to throw when the windows are smaller, and that's what happens down near the goal line, David. For this quarterback here, just take accountability and ownership and come out here and lead your offense.
And move on. Like, we needed points. That's something that we can harp on. We'll watch the tape this week, but now it's time to move on. Let's get another drive going.
Back to throw, it's Allard. Unloads to the right. He's got it. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
Love the accurate throw by the quarterback there. Curl route against man coverage. You got to put that right into the body of the wide receiver who's running back towards you. Nice job.
Oh, picked off. No room to return, but no problem after making a play like that, and they'll have it at the 25.
QBs have to understand, when I'm throwing against zones, I got to manipulate guys with my eyes. I might have to look one direction to create an opening to throw that ball or zip that ball in. I got to use touch. It's really hard when all eyes are on me, and you could tell the quarterback was not ready and did not make a good throw.
Well, the QB looked like he knew where he wanted to go with that football, but give the defense credit. They were able to swat that one away.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. They'll give him 4 on that one. It's 3rd and 6. Trying to pick up a first down. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. He's right on target. There to make the stop, and we've played 3 in this one. First down to start the drive after the break. Looking to move it through the air. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. 2nd down coming.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
This time it's complete. They make the stop, but the sweet throw and catch is plenty to give them a first down.
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. The incomplete pass leaves him with second down. He wants to throw it again. Caught in the backfield, it's Hemby.
Well, it's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where you can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. Picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
Dropping back, it's Edwards. And they got him. They'll get him down for the sack.
Another sack by this defense, but how about this QB? He continues to get back up every single time, still leading his team, still staying positive, still putting them in a good position to win this football game.
Fires to the wideout. He's got it. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
This is so a Jesse Palmer move. Exactly what he would do. Continue to put the foot on the accelerator, try to rub it in. Can't win by enough. Got to look good in the polls. It's your kind of offense, Palmer.
Well, this guy must feel like he's run into a buzzsaw in this game. He has been under duress all game long, and that's a big reason why he's thrown multiple interceptions in the game, too. Nothing coming easy to him. It's hard to see the field when your internal clock is going off so fast because of the pressure of this defense, and that's why they find themselves down by so much here in the fourth.
Third and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on fourth down.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the fourth quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
On fourth down, they'll pass for it. The incomplete pass makes this series end in frustration as they turn it over on downs.
Listen, with the aggressiveness of offenses and taking chances, a lot of times it's going to put your defense in a hole. And this defense is going to have to come through in the clutch right here because you're trailing. They can't get more scores. They got to get a stop on this possession, and the offense is going to have to do better than they just did. Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play a wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
The completion short of the sticks, it's second down. Got it in the middle, it's Howard. And they make the tackle, but he has plenty for the first down.
Well, this tight end is so athletic that at times they'll line him up in different parts of the field. That time he was in the slot. Nice job running the route, finding the open space in the defense for the completion.
Bought a little time, lets it go. Got a man, it's Ray. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Terrapins! And the pummeling has started.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me or I should get concerned because this offense obviously has had themselves a day, and apparently their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. From inside the 15, here's the return. Nice, just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
Well, you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You can see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
Basic connection. And an explosive play has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line.
And we see another catch by this guy. This defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure you're...
And he's got it inside the 20. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Good for them. They They put together a drive. They got a touchdown. It's been a bad day. I mean, this is a day they're going to want to forget. They're getting destroyed, but at least you get some positive vibes. Maybe finish this game on a little bit of a high note, a little bit.
And the extra point is good. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he's coming out of the end zone. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. Maryland has the ball back, and the Terrapin offense ready to go. Scanning the field, it's Edwards. Working that left side now. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job by the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually one guy not going to get to the ground. You want many guys swarming to the football and try to get that elusive guy on the ground.
They'll try to move the chains on 3rd and short from the 27. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got his man. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38. The Terrapins come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They want to just keep throwing it. He'll try to do it himself. Still on his feet at the 45. They finally make the stop, and he shows why he is dangerous on the run, too, and he's got a first down. And the Terrapins are moving quickly down the field. They'll throw it on first down. Grab near the sticks. It's Howard. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one.
Man, and we're seeing the tight end used more and more in the passing game. You see him moving inside. You see him moving outside. You see him moving in the box to block people. So here they put him in the slot and just have a nice little pitch and catch session.
Relentless, tough running gets it down to the 4.
Defense is all about creating negative plays. And he does a really good job at the quarterback spot, not taking sacks. Like, that's a great job. He wants to throw the football. The clock goes off. He takes off and gets a positive gain.
It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Yeah, and it's tough being a quarterback near the goal line like this in the red zone. When you're throwing the ball, these windows are so tight, and you got to try to fit it into some tightest windows on the football field. Very difficult to do.
And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
Hey, really nice job on defense, too. Understanding the situation. It's 3rd down. We're fine giving up completions right there. We're not giving up the first down. We're keeping the
Touchdown, Maryland! And the punishment has been extended.
Points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. To throw, it's Allard. Pressure coming. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
At this point of the game in the 4th quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in cover.
Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch.
What a great grab. This guy has been unstoppable all game long. Wherever he's lined up, the quarterback's been looking his way. And I got to tell you, I would too. If you're going to make catches like that for me, I am going to force feed you the football.
And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. I know you want to go to this guy because he's made so many plays for you, but when he's doubled, surely somebody else has a much easier play to make.
And it might not be the stud that he is.
Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Oh, you could just feel it. He wanted to make that a big return, but his offense will come out and take over at the 44.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's passed, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
He'll come out throwing on first down. Just a little off. Incomplete. After the misfire, it's second down. He's looking to throw. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
Got his man quickly. Low man wins, and he just smashed him. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. Offense in a split backfield. Trying to find his man on first down. And he fires over the middle. It's incomplete. After misfiring, it's second down. Back to throw, it's Edwards. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the grab. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. After that last completion, it's second down. He's looking to throw. Grabs it in the middle. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. The Terrapins are threatening on first and goal. The snap sets up the throw. Keeps looking downfield. Snags it. Touchdown, Terrapins! And the stomping has commenced. Offense gets the job done again. You want to build that cushion as we get deeper into the second half.
Man, it makes it easy, doesn't it? You start getting up by a couple possessions, making the offense very predictable on the other side. Great job by the offense extending their lead.
And he added the extra point. So that drive covered just 44 yards. And they get it into the end zone with a 6-yard touchdown pass. The kickoff team out there and ready to go. And that is not the optimal solution there. The kickoff out of bounds, and the offense will have a little bit easier time of things. A first down for the offense. Trying to start the drive with a pass. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And the quarterback gets hit again. We already know this defense has gotten home to him multiple times in this game. So here you are, you're trailing in the game. Defense knows you're going to throw it. They're pinning their ears back. You can't feel very confident right now if you're the play caller, and certainly if you're the quarterback, that you're going to have time to throw.
Yeah, and you use these running backs so much in the passing game now, and you expect him to make those plays for you, to make those big explosive plays out of the backfield. Just got to make sure he concentrates and see that ball come in.
They'll pick up enough yardage for the first down. They've got it at the 30. And the best thing about this, the offense can't worry about the scoreboard. Just keep trying to make plays like that, Jesse.
I know a lot of people in the stadium probably feel like this game is over. Maybe it's been over for a while, Reese, but don't tell that to this quarterback and his teammates. They're still out there scrapping and clawing.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Last play was a near disaster. Now dealing with 2nd and 13. Back to pass, it's Aller. Throws to the wideout. Fires into traffic, it's picked off. Made the play on the pick, was hoping to make one on the return. He'll have to settle for letting the offense pay it off from the 26.
This is a beautiful situation for the defense. When you're up by 2+ scores and you're in this situation, you know exactly what is coming. It's going to be a pass. They have to because the clock is their enemy. Great job playing pass, forcing the interception, almost putting the nail in the coffin.
Well, the defense is sending a very clear message. They didn't hit that play, but they've shown they've got the quarterback with the arm talent. They've got the wide receivers with the speed. They are going to try and take shots.
He'll take the deep shot. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on second down, but third down's coming up.
And that's why a lot of kids want to play for this coach, because they know that when they get into games, even if it's late, coach is going to let them go play ball, go have fun, take shots and try to come up with big plays. This offense right now, man, they're just having fun.
And that is a frustrating possession for this offense. You wanted to run the football, maybe take some time. You did the opposite. Got in a bad situation, threw the football, stopped the clock. Not how you manage a game late in the fourth quarter.
On fourth down, they'll throw for it. And it's picked off. Taking it the other way. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Never say die attitude, and I love that, especially these young players, because they're out there competing. And I know the scoreboard right now doesn't look pretty. They're not going to come back and win this football game, but I just love kids that are competing until there's zeros on the clock.
And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
Looking to go up top on first down. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
Man, that's a couple bad throws. Last possession obviously ends in an interception for this quarterback, and now you throw another one, in harm's way. You got to make sure you're throwing to the open guy. Make sure you're taking care of that football. We can't have any more turnovers.
He caught it, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Penn State.
And this has been a rough day for this offense, and finally, some good things to happen. Build some momentum maybe for the future. That's the way the coaches spin it when you're getting beat up and you're getting destroyed. Like, let's find something for the future. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep working. This team's done that, put some points on the board, so it's not all bad.
And they pick up the extra point. Kicker knocked it right down the middle. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Just into the end zone, and he'll bring it out. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Fires to the wideout. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
They'll go back to the air on second down. Finds his man down the middle. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down. And the Terrapins want to move quickly. Going up top on first down. Going over the top. Fires and picked off. Not a lot on the return, but they can live with that as they've got it at the 49.
Reese, I know you're a little bit of a front runner, so you probably would quit. Actually, you probably sub yourself out and take yourself out of the game. But I like that they're continuing to fight. Keep fighting. You never know what's going to happen. Actually, you know what? I know you're not going to win, but it doesn't matter. Keep fighting to the very end.
Comes out throwing on first down. He makes the connection. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there.
The defense doesn't have an answer for this slot guy right now. They may want to think about bracketing him, having a defender play to the outside and to the inside. Probably some sort of zone.
Fires into traffic, intercepted. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores late in the ball game, in the fourth quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm going to put all those DBs back playing the pass.
Picked off. Didn't get a ton on the return, but the most important thing, he got the ball, and they've got it at the 48.
Obviously, this game hasn't gone the way they would have liked, but coaches are always looking for positive moments and things that you can build on. How about that young man going out, getting an interception? Yeah, they're being blown out. They're probably not going to win this football game, but that is the type of play that as a coaching staff you can build on for next week's game.
say pressure bust pipes? This quarterback can attest to that. Goodness gracious, they're getting after him all day. There's a reason they're behind. Pressure the quarterback goes a long way to getting the W.
And they got him for the sack.
And how about this offense, man? It's been a rough day. You're getting beat down. You're trying to find some kind of momentum late in the game to build something off of, and you give up another sack.
Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 40. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Working the middle. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
And listen, the defense playing really conservative, right? You got the lead, but here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get sacks. I got to get to the quarterback. Like, I got to make sure I'm getting him, knocking him off his spot. Padding my stats, by the way. Got a lot of sacks late in games, and we had a big lead, but that's okay. That's what you're supposed to do. Keep competing, defense.
On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. It's incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Offensively, this is a beautiful time now because now I get to get all my other guys in the game. Guys that don't get to play that much. We're up. This game's over after that missed 4th down conversion. Now we get to get everybody in the ball game, or if you choose.
And he intercepts it. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Well, the defense is feeling it now, right? 2 picks in 2 straight drives. Their guys have been all over the field making plays when the ball's in the air. D coordinator's got to love that.
Unloads to the wideout. Got his man. There to make the tackle, but the big throw is good enough to give them a first down. You get that turnover and you try to punch them hard immediately on the first play, and they come up with a big gain.
And when the defense is running on the field, you are thinking sudden change, sudden change. When they create a turnover, a lot of times offenses want to be aggressive. They were, and they get rewarded.
All the way down to the 25-yard line, they move the sticks. It's first down.
The defense has their hands full trying to stop this guy in the slot. They're going to have to figure something out to bracket him, try and get 2 bodies around him, maybe get some safety help as well, because right now they do not have the answer for this guy.
Pulls it in. It's Wallace. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Still some work to do after that last completion at 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game. And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like, they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully.
Fires the pass. Intercepted. And he'll be marked down, but what a play to come up with that interception.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's 4th down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
He's looking deep. Makes the grab on the left side. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made. Looking to throw, it's Edwards. Gets it out quickly. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. The Terrapins moving quickly to the line. On 2nd down, he's looking downfield. Got it behind the line. It's Hemby. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Going downfield for the big play. And he'll pull it in inside the 20. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
And he misses another extra point. He's left 3 points on the table so far. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive.
Set to advance on the football.
Looking for an alley from inside his own 20. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. And here we go. Final play of the game right here. He's going to pass. He wants a big play here late. Good quickness to grab it off the bounce. They'll bring him down as he bulks up those numbers, but not the most important one as they'll come up short in this game. They say every game counts the same in the standings, and that is true, but there are some games that no matter what the coaches say, they just mean a little more, and they hurt a little more if you lose.
They do, and that's a fact, and every player will tell you that. There are some games that are highlighted before the season that this game matters more, and it's not that the other ones don't matter. It's just that the hate runs so deep for some of these rivalries and some of these kids that grew up across the street from each other that went to different schools, Jesse. You can feel it.
David, you're absolutely right, and I wonder because it was a rivalry game, did the losing team get a little overhyped? Just